So I forgot how the Chinese call is never mind. I forgot completely now. I remembered only Vastu. Feng Shui. Yeah, the Chinese Feng Shui. They say don't build your house in front of a mountain because it's gonna attract to you bad luck. I don't know how true is that this, okay? So you have to always build your house with the backyard, with your kitchen, the back side of the house facing the mountain rather than the front side of the house. Stags up, she had a connection. So one thing Sumer disputes between Sumer and Winter describe the grace of the season, the result of the copulation of Ninhursag, the earth, and Enlil. Another temple hymn from Gudi, praising Nigirsu, epithet of Ninurta, describes him as having been born by a mountain range. She had a connection to the wild animals, particularly deer who dwell on or around the mountains. How about mountain goats? That's why some kids don't like mountain goats. Stags appear in facade on the walls of her temples, as well as in works containing the lion-headed eagle, a symbol of Ninurta. One composition, a dedication of Ninhursag's Khan's temple, mentions deer, bison, and wild goats in connection to the building. Her and her other names could also appear in ritual incantations for a variety of functions, some of which include Damgal to protect from evil demons, and Ninhursaga and Nitur and bat-related incantation. As Ningma, she had appeared occasionally in medical texts, such as one from Sultan Tepe. She describes rituals and offerings to be performed for the goddess in order to cure bad wetting. Why must you offer offering and ritual for? To cure something? You don't know, maybe even them doing this to you. It suggests that her role in performing healing connects to that of her healing ENKI and Ninhursag. Association with other deities, consorts, and children. Her most well-attested consorts are ENKI and Shulpai. The latter is identified as the father of her son Paningaha, and the gods list an Anu. Paningangara. Another of her sons sometimes listen alongside Paningangara was Ashigi, and Lagash was associated with ENLIL as his wife, and the mother of Nigirsu, assimilated with Ninurta. She is Ninurta's mother's Belet Lila Mami in Azu and other myths as well. Some Sumerian sources identify her as both Enlil's wife and sister, likely to ratify earlier traditions where she was Enlil's spouse. Before later tradition had the goddess Enlil once his wife instead. After this change, Ninhursag was reassigned as Enlil's elder sister. As Damgalnuna, she is associated with Salrudu, a well-attested son of Enki, as his mother. She also has a connection to an attested sister of Azaruludu, Lizin, and one text. Lizin is referred to as Ninhursag's daughter, where another she is equated with her. New year in Hazu wisdom is linked to an nuance to two sukals of the Damgalnuna. What kind of name is that? Ninhursag in her mother birth aspect was also likely affiliated with a group of 7 minor goddesses known as the Sasuratu, or worms, who were a sister of mother goddesses. The 7 appear in Enki and Ningma to assist of fashioning humankind from clay alongside their mistress. And our listeners, Ningma, Suziana, Nimada, Ninsa, Nimu, Mudu, and Ningsikina. Iconography. Ninhursag was commonly depicted seated up on near mountains. Her hair sometimes in a omega shape, and at the time wearing a horned head dress and tied skirt, and a rectangular framed plaque from pre-Sargonic Gersu, the goddess seated in open scale-like mountains, is determined to be Ninhursag. Here she wears a crown that is more flat without the horns and has hair in omega-like shape. In another depiction, she is seated in open mountains and also has a mountain in her horned crown. Here she wears a tidy robe. She was identified as a female figure standing behind her son Ninurta on a fragment of the stele on the vouchers. Another symbol of her was Dia, both male and female. Studies on a plaque from Mary have identified the stone as being the representation of her. The stone likely represents both a face and the naked female form. A notable feature of the plaque is the area below the nosy area, where 10 stags stand eating plants on opposite sides of the face. There is another group of 5 animals under the nose which are suspected to be birds. In a frieze recovered from the same Mary temple, 2 stags flank an Igmundi eagle, the symbol of her son Ninurta. There are a number of other images of this eagle as well, such as the face and the gallery below, where deer in boxes or gazelles are present to represent Ninhursag. Could Ninurta be Jesus? I don't know. According to Johannes Staki, her symbol resembling the Greek letter omega has been depicted in art from approximately 300,000 BC, although more generally from the early 2nd millennium BC. It appears on some boundary stones, kuduhu, on the upper thigh, indicating her importance. The omega symbol associated with the Egyptian cow goddess Hathor and may represent a styled worm. John Godinic give other the symbol should be interpreted as schematic representation of a woman's hair rather than the shape of an uterus. The tentatively proposed identification of Inanaya rather than Ninhursag as well. I don't know, all these old ladies of New Age, sometimes they don't know nothing. The silver vase of Entemena, which has dedicated to Negrisu. This is the fragment of the voucher. So ENKI and Ninhursag, 2 full copies of ENKI and Ninhursag has been uncovered. One from Inipur, which contains the complex text although some passages on the tablet are broken, and another from Uar, found in the house of a priest of ENKI, where half of the text is missing. The second tablet contains less lines, thus is considered a truncated version. There exists also an excerpt covering the incestuous company, which differs from the Nippur version's event. Around here have a lot of them in this earth, a lot of their cities. In ENKI Ninhursag, the goddesses complain to ENKI that the seed of the moon is lacking in water. As a result, ENKI makes the land rich. And Dil Moon becomes a prosperous wetland. And now I become a desert later on again. Afterwards, he and Ninhursag live together, resulting in a daughter, Nisa, called Ninizi. Nisa matches quickly, and ENKI Nisa matches quickly, and the father again eats up the daughter. And ENKI spots her walking along the bank, and she leaps and eats her up. She leaps to see her, resulting in another daughter. Ninkura, ENKI spots her and she leaps with her as well and lay with her, resulting in two, an alternative version of all this Ninkura. What a old demand, despicable demand. Ningma the O2, after ENKI has intercourse with two, Ninhursag removes the semen from her womb and plants it in the earth. After ENKI has intercourse with two, Ninhursag removes the semen. Since when she has semen from her womb? Since when? What kind of talk relatory is that? Since when female have semen, unless this is a demon or whatever, then they have semen. They are Orion reptilian, then they carry semen inside their pocket, their pouch. Because human female don't have that. The female human has their own fluid, her own eggs, ovum fluid. But this Anunakis, these aliens are different. They do carry sperm in the sac and eat from her womb and plants it in the earth, causing 80 plants to spring up. Oof, my God, what kind of plants that? Poisonous? As a result of his actions, Ninhursag curses ENKI by casting her life-given eye away from him. ENKI then becomes gravely ill. Good. A fox then makes an offer to ENLIL that he will bring Ninhursag back to cure him. In exchange, ENLIL promises to erect 2 birch trees. So a fox then makes an offer to ENLIL that he will bring Ninhursag back to kill him. In exchange, ENLIL promises to erect 2 beech trees for the fox in his city and to give the creature fame. The fox is able to retrieve Ninhursag, and she then cures ENKI, giving birth to 8 minor deities from his alien body part. Ooh, you! Comparisons between this myth and that of Genesis are common, as suggested by Samuel Kramer. ENKI's eating of the 80 plants and the consequences following his actions can be compared to the consumption of the fruit of knowledge by Adam and Eve. I think this has something to do, this is not literally, this is something to do with some metaphor, some kind of metaphor stuff. ENKI and Ningma, the next text containing this myth has been recovered on tablets from varying locations. The primary two make up the translation are from the Old Babylonian period and were recovered from Nippur. A third tablet from this period was also found containing an extract of the middle of the myth as well. There was also a bilingual Sumerian and Akkadian version in the library of Assurbanipal, and one very fragmented tablet from the Middle Assyrian period that may contain the myth but deviates from the bilingual version and the creation portion of the myth. ENKI and Ningma as a narrative can be separated into 2 distinctive parts, the first being the birth of mankind, and the second, no birth of mankind, the birth of Homo sapiens too. What they did was to copy, not to create anything, but to copy what was already invented. And the second, the competition between the 2 spouses. The first half of this text recounts ENKI creating the first humans at the behest of Ningma, referred to here as his mother. He receives help forming the body of a man and a human from Ningma, as well as he has 7 servants, the birth goddesses. Once man is finished, the group has a banquet where ENKI and Ningma drink beer and the other gods praise ENKI greatness. In the second half, Ningma creates 7 humans with illnesses and disabilities. Cursed be this devil, which ENKI finds places for in society. ENKI then creates it, gives thanks to your God who you all worship, gives thanks to them. Great illnesses, diseases, genetic diseases, disabilities, etc. ENKI and a defective body. They also create a defective body from a more sturdy one, a more perfect one. They create a junky body, junky, garbage. ENKI then creates an individual so damaged that Ningma cannot find a place for them, resulting in her losing the competition. They were competing with life. They were playing God. They are still playing God. Create so many deformed creatures, which called demons as well. She then complains that ENKI has driven her away from her home. The ending of the text is not well understood due to the image on the tablet, but it's likely ENKI consoling Ningma and possibly find a place for the human he made. Ninhursag appears in the text creator of the whole of the whole. Here she is referred to as the mother of the gods. In the Anzu epic, Ninhursag, under the name Belet Lilomami, speaks in part of Ninurta, her son, and is given the epithet the mistress of all gods. In another myth involving her son, Ninurta exploits. The titular gods goes out to conquer the mountain land to the north of Babylonia and piles the bodies of its stone kings into a great burial mold. He then dedicates these mountains to his mother. Once Ningma now renamed Ninhursag after the mold, Damkina is the mother of Marduk and Inumaelis. Huh? Damkina, okay, but ENKI, son. Worship. Theories posit that in earlier time, so maybe Ninurta could be, I don't know. Ninurta was the one who has been castrated, is it? Theories posit that in earlier times, Ninhursag was the highest ranking female deity, but was later displaced from that status by Enlil. Before the old Babylonian period, where she was syncretized with other birthing goddesses. As Ninhursag, she had temples in Nippur. In Adab, she was worshipped under her Ningma epithet. Under her Ningma epithet, she has temple in Adab, Babylon, and Girsuno's Ima on the majestic house. A temple of hers from the early dynastic period Mesopotamia was excavated by Sir Leonardo Woolley during his series of excavation at various sites around the city, built presumably by a king Ayenepada. As per the temple dedication, Ayenepada, king of Ur, son of Mezanepada, king of Ur, has built this for his lady Ninhursag. In early dynastic Lagash, a temple was dedicated to Ninhursag, then later to Ningma. Os consorte ENLIL and ENKI. The symbol is omega-like symbol. Children Ninurta, Ashgi and Panigingara. So here we have the Anunaki Demonici who altered the first human beings on earth. Together if you have love come brother, half brother.